Greetings, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Thursday, November 10th, and we're doing this a day earlier than normal because tomorrow, the 11th, is Veterans Day, and the city offices are closed in honor of that holiday. So I'm talking about that. Tomorrow, the Batavia VFW is going to offer a program, as they traditionally do, down at their VFW post on South River Street. And the best time I'm hearing that you can probably go is sometime between 10 and 10:30, because then at some point in time there, soon after that time frame, the Batavia Community Band is going to gather together, and they're then going to, a large part of the program tomorrow is going to be a patriotic music concert put on by the Batavia Community Band. And so I just wanted everybody to be aware that the VFW is very much involved in trying to continue the long tradition of Batavia, starting back, I'm sure, from the very first Veterans Day in probably 1912, after the first one was declared in 1911. I think it was 1911, wasn't it? Anyway, it was in that time frame back there. And they've been doing these programs ever since then. And so it's very nice that the VFW stands up and does this, and thank the community band for their willingness to volunteer their time and efforts to put this program on. But that'll be tomorrow, late morning, around 10:30, that time frame. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is that Batavia has always had a very strong passion for saluting its veterans and thanking everyone who has served, and we're reaching a point here in town where we have very few World War II veterans left, and they'll probably at the service tomorrow ask anybody that was in those various wars if they'd please stand up, or if they're in the service, and if they do, please give them an extra strong hand of applause, because many of those gentlemen, or ladies too, are reaching quite elderly ages. And when you can think about the fact that the war ended in 1945, that's like 77 years ago now, so you had to be pretty young to be still around and having served in that war. So I just want to encourage everybody to pay attention to that. And then there's some announcements for the rest of the week that I think are very interesting. If you've been out on the street, you probably have seen the Batavia Public Works Department is busy assembling our Christmas tree displays, as we traditionally do. And today they're up working on Batavia Avenue, and I know they've been on Water Street and Houston Street and Wilson Street. And so the plan always is to try to get the actual trees turned on maybe the night before Thanksgiving, and then on the Saturday of Thanksgiving, they're going to have the lighting of the big tree down at the Park District facility. And that'll be done, and then we'll be all lit up for the year. Batavia is very, very fortunate to have this long tradition of Christmas trees in its downtown and Christmas decorations. And one of the features of Batavia's decorations is at some point, and it moves every year to a different location, we have a solid red bulb Christmas tree. And that is put up in honor of Charlie Chemis, who was the longtime foreman of the Batavia Water Utility, and he was a native of Mexico, and he jokingly said to the guys at Public Works one time, "Gee, you never put up any tree for the Mexican population." And so they went out and researched it and surprised him one year with that, and it's been up every year since then. And I know some families make it an annual search to get everybody in the car and go right around and look at the Christmas decorations and look for the all-red tree that's the Charlie Chemis tree. So I'm led to believe that's going to be around again this year. This coming Saturday is going to be a pretty interesting day in Batavia. We've got several things going on, and one of them is that this is going to be the Batavia football team's continual strides toward being in the state championship game. And this coming Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock at Batavia High School, So I am told we're going to be visited by Yorkville. And they don't have to come very far, but they have apparently a very good team. And so I'm sure between all the folks that will come up from Yorkville and all the Batavians, there will be a big crowd on West Main Street and West Wilson Street on Saturday afternoon as people come out to see the game. And so and I'm also led to believe that it will be on TV if you can't come in person. And so we do have a big fan club of people who want to come and watch the Batavia games. So another couple of things I just want to alert everybody to. As you all know, the general election was held this past Tuesday and the results are in, and we all know what those are, so I'm not going to get into that. But one thing I would point out is that we try to ask all those involved in political campaigns if within a 2 or 3 day radius after the election everybody removes their signs. And I was around town this morning and I noticed there's a couple of pretty visible locations in which there's still quite a few signs around, and I would suggest that it doesn't speak well for the candidate whose name is on the sign that here we are 3-4 days after an election and your sign has not been taken down and picked up. So if you're been part of a campaign that won or lost, please think about trying to keep your reputation together and just quietly remove your sign and be prepared for the next election. But signs hanging around really start to get quite a visibility, and then I start getting calls at City Hall, and the utility or the public building department gets the calls from people who want to complain about some sign up at some location. So we can do without that. Another big piece of news in Batavia is that I was out there and looked at it today. The Randall 15 movie theater has totally removed its back wall, and their water line, they're going to put in a new water line in there as part of the deal, but that is readily under reconstruction right now. And as they are telling us, this new wall they're going to put up on the east side of the building will then feature a movie screen, which will be one of the largest, if not the largest screen in the state of Illinois. And the theater has all kinds of exciting ideas about what they're going to do with that building. And they're going to put available in there some entertainment or party rooms or reception rooms and such things as if you're going to have a 75th or 80th or 90th birthday for a member of the family. You can rent one of their rooms, and then they'll make a CD for you, and then while you're having your party, they'll have these pictures flash on the screen of the person whose birthday it is and whatever part of their life it was. So they're going to do that, and then they're also going to, so the owner tells me, they'll be open to the idea of hosting after funeral receptions in which they could also put up a series of pictures of the person who has just been buried, or they're putting in a pretty large kitchen in the building now, so they'll be able to prepare food and make sandwiches and coffees and everything for people to come. So they're kind of refocusing the use, because as he told me, right now Hollywood isn't making 15 movies at any one time, that he's always going to have new movies to put in there. So they're going to use some of these rooms for entertainment. He suggests even there may be open for some wedding receptions if somebody wants to get married, and they can put their pictures on the screen and people can then enjoy a party while the pictures are flashing on the screen in the background. So a lot of different ideas coming to that place, and I'm very pleased that it's happening in Batavia, and I think it's going to give Batavia a new attraction that a lot of people are going to take part in. And finally today, I waited to the end to talk about this. The Batavia Park District Board of Commissioners is inviting all of us this coming Saturday, November 12th at 10 a.m. down to the Clark Island Recreational Area in the 400 block of South River Street, where they are going to host a dedication and ribbon cutting of the Philip B. Elstrom Memorial Greenway. And what this is the bike trail / walking trail that runs from downtown Batavia on the east bank down along the river, down into the area where the Little League Park is, and then kind of connects up with the bike trail and walking area that goes down behind Funway, and then eventually you can go down to Aurora on it if you want. but they are going to rededicate this thing because in his will, Philip B. Elstrom left a large sum of money so Batavia could buy properties when they became available so that all the buildings could be torn down and there could be this beautiful exposure of the Fox River going south out of Batavia on the east side. And the Park District has just been able to acquire another couple of buildings there. So there's a lot happening there, but I think Phil Elstrom would be very pleased, and certainly it was highly controversial when he did it, but there are thousands of people every year now who use the bike trail and what is to be the Philip B. Elstrom Memorial Greenway and enjoy Batavia with a very favorable view of Mother Nature at its grandest and how Batavia can look. So if you'd like to come and be part of that ceremony, it's going to be again at 10 a.m. Saturday, November 12th. And I want to publicly go on record as thanking and commending the Batavia Park District Board of Commissioners and its executive staff, who my opinion, have done a wondrous job in putting all this together, because I think this is going to be a new feature of Batavia, not a new feature, but an enhanced feature of Batavia that really is going to make the center part of the community shine. And so let's get behind that one and cheer it on, because we are really doing some stuff there that makes for a greater and greener and more likable Batavia in the days ahead. So with that, I'll end. Wish everybody a good weekend, and I look forward to talking to you next week.